guys already know this is the main one tapping in all the way from H-Town, Houston, Texas. I'm here with my boy T.A.G.
T.A.G.
T.A.G, very nice, very evil.
Yeah, that's T.A.G shit.
The only thing we're gonna do is take over, baby.
Free fall as I dive through the kaleidoscope in my mind. No rope up to climb. Gotta remind myself that I'm fine. Mama.
Hey, what up, T.A.G Nation? Welcome to another episode of NXT.A.G. Now, I'm pretty sure y'all was like, Scoot, you've been gone for 2 weeks. Oh, what's going on? Okay. The week of NXT Showdown, I was out of town. Last week, I was sick. And I didn't want to record an NXT.A.G. signing out like this and, talking and trying to give y'all the updates. So that's why I was like, I'll hold off. I'll come back fresh as a daisy and bring y'all the real. And the real is Halloween Havoc. It's Saturday, and I know what I was saying before about them building towards Halloween Havoc and how NXT TNA Showdown was just kind of a one-off situation. I still have my gripes and feelings, but Halloween Havoc is shaping up to be a fire PLE. At the end, I'll run down the matches because for some reason, take that back. At the end, I'll run down the matches. But I'm telling you, it's shaping up. It's shaping up to be a fire PLE. But yeah, I'm excited. But the show starts off with your number one contender for the NXT Women's Championship, Tatum Paxley. She comes out there, of course, with the Cullen, and she's pretty much saying that, she's happy to get this chance. She's happy to get this shot, waiting all this time, all these years. And, I'm finally getting a shot at the NXT Women's Championship. And she's pretty much was talking about how, with her having the Cullen on her side, with her having the crowd on her side, she's pretty happy. She's pretty happy at the fact that, she's getting this opportunity. Then, of course, Fatal Influence comes out. JC is on her. Girl, ain't nobody worrying about you. You ain't about nothing. I don't know why you sitting here thinking this is gonna be a thing. You gonna fail just like you failed before, kind of energy, and being mad negative. You know what I'm saying? I don't want all that negativity. That negativity out of here, JC. Then, of course, it pretty much led to the Cullen challenging Fatal Influence. And I'm talking about Nico and Sean Spears was going to challenge. And I'm joking. I'm talking about Tatum and Izzy was going to take on two members of Fatal Influence. It ended up being Laney and JC, but we'll get there. But pretty much, the two ladies of the Cullen take out Fatal Influence. Then we get a little segment backstage between Stax and Ariana. Then it leads to Leon Slater and Javon Evans. Then it rolls into our first match of the night. The youngest in charge, Leon Slater, is defending his TNA Impact Championship against Channing Stax Lorenzo. Now, during the match, they made mention that the Heritage Cup is in the river. Is Stax still the Heritage Cup champion? Is that still a thing? Because the missus brought up something too. Though the 24/7 championship is discontinued, Nikki Cross still the 24/7 championship. She just threw the belt away. So with that being said, isn't her title reign about longer than Roman Reigns? Isn't she technically like the longest running champion right now because that was a little bit ago when she won that belt. I mean, I know she Wyatt Six in it all, but she just threw the title away. She was still champion. Is it just me? Me? Is it me? Is that a mystery that I think I need to do a deep dive on? I think that's a mystery I need to do a deep dive on. But yeah, but look, this is a showcase match. I mean, we seen Leon on NXT TV before. It was a showcase match. I don't know if this was more of trying to get Stacks and Oriana over as a duo, and I really don't know, but I didn't see Leon losing this at all. I mean, yeah, but ultimately Leon does win, and if you haven't seen Leon Slater's finisher, it's a Swanton 450, and you're probably thinking to yourself once again, if you hadn't seen it, what's a Swanton 450? He jumps off the top rope as if he's doing a Swanton, but then it morphs into a 450 splash. It's a thing of beauty. The athletics you have to do a Swanton 450 is crazy. Not crazy, crazy. Just throwing it out there. Then after the match, they as in Slater and Evans, because Evans did come out with Slater. They was pretty much saying that, you know, they're gonna be a tag that they want to team up and tag together, but they want a match for Halloween Havoc. And then we hear the music of the breakout superstar of 2025, Mr. Iguana, with Yeska, Layeska and La Parka. And Mr. Iguana was like, hey, we already talked to Ava. So it's going to be myself, La Parka, and Layeska taking on the young OG and the youngest in charge at Halloween Havoc. The scream I screamed when that match was announced. Instant match of the night. Matter of fact, that's how it's gonna be. Let me turn that up louder. Exactly, that match is gonna be explosive. And an ovation. For that match. But yes, I'm ecstatic to see that match. Then we get segments of Zach Wentz, Jasper Troy. Then it rolls on into their match. And remember, the men's speed championship is on NXT. And they're holding a mini tournament to see who's going to take on Grande Americano. Now, Bravo and Rayo were in the audience scouting the competition. And Jasper Troy, Zach Wentz. Zach tried. You know, I mean, I think if I remember correctly, he pushed Troy to the last minute, but Troy ultimately got the dub. He eventually overpowered, got the dub. Yeah. So Jasper Troy moves on to the tournament finals. And he will face the winner of Sean Legacy and Axiom. More on that in a bit. Then we get to the segment of they were showing that the NXT women have kicked Kalani Jordan out the locker room. They were essentially taking all of her stuff. They was moving it out. And they was like, look, you chose your side, which was TNA. Jordan Grace was trying to talk to her and basically was kind of like, hey, it's all right, it's cool, you'll be okay. And all the while they're taking her stuff out, you know, then she was like, you know, Jordan, you just jealous. You once held this title, you don't hold it anymore. You never held a title in NXT, you just hating. And I told Ashley, if I was Jordan, I was like, at least I can go back in the locker room. Matter of fact, watch this. You know what I'm saying? Like, I would have been, matter of fact, watch this. Just went into the locker room. But I'm pretty sure we're going to get a collision of Jordan Grace and Kalani Jordan, probably for the Knockouts Championship at some point. Yeah. The best segment of the night. If you don't do anything, I don't care if you don't find the full segment. I don't care if you just find half the segment. The Dark State promo and the Hardy Boys promo is the best thing that happened on NXT TV tonight. Dark State cuts in doing their promo, basically saying, you know, hey, we want our belts back. The Hardys, we had to show them what's up. We let them know that, you know, of course, when Dark State strikes, no one is safe. And then the Hardys interrupt their vignette and pretty much was saying, Dark State, we knew y'all was going to be up to some old bull, up to some shenanigans. Yeah, y'all beat us up. You even broken us a little bit. Now, if you are familiar with Hardys in the Hardy universe, they're on the Hardy compound as they're doing said vignette. And from them doing the vignette, when they was mentioning they were broken, Matthew and Jeff Hardy walks into the lake of reincarnation, and out comes one of the greatest wrestling characters in history, Broken Matt Hardy and Brother Nero. The scream, I screamed when it happened. Now count, this is the second time I screamed the scream. Throw it out there. And pretty much Broken Matt Hardy and Brother Nero is not only challenging, well, they was already challenging, well, Dark State was challenging them for the NXT championships, but it's now officially a broken rules match. Inject it in my veins, please, because like I said, Broken Matt Hardy is one of the best wrestling personalities to exist of all time and space. Thank you. Thank you, Matthew and Jeffrey. Thank you for giving me the Broken Hardys. Thank you, Brother Nero. Thank you, Broken Matt Hardy. Because Dark State, I knew you come. Oh, my goodness. My goodness. All right, let me get back on track. Next up, this young lady, Zaruka. Now, if you didn't see on SmackDown, Zaruka had a tag team title match against Charlotte and Alexa Bliss. So injured her knee. And when she was walking in, she had a giant knee brace. She was on crutches. And pretty much her, Ava, and Zarya were in the ring. And she was like, hey, I know I was supposed to defend this championship on Saturday, but I'm not cleared. I don't know when I'll be cleared. I just don't know. And Blake comes out and Blake is like, she go hand it over here then. If I was supposed to challenge you for that North American championship, you can't defend it. You know what I'm saying? Go hand the bell on over here. And pretty much Zarya was like, man, that's some bull. That ain't how it works in NXT. You can't just be handed a championship. And pretty much Zarya was like, you know what? How about this? How about I defend the North American championship for you in your honor? And then Blake is looking like, that's some bull. And then Ava was like, hey, so if you with it, I'm with it. And so it was like, I mean, it was reluctant and begrudgingly, but yeah, she said yeah. Then it led into a scuffle. Zarya got the best of Blake. She then snatches the women's North American Championship out of Soul's hand and kind of hold it over Blake like, you ain't getting this. So at Halloween Havoc, we will get, tentatively, we will get Soul Ruka by the way of Zarya going against Blake Monroe for the women's North American Championship. Yeah, I know it sounds crazy, but hey, it's supposed to go down, ladies and gentlemen. Then we get a backstage segment of Tavion Heights talking with Miles Bourne, and they was basically pretty like upset at the fact that, you know, Tavion is upset that he didn't get the job done against Ethan Page. Bourne is kind of like, you know, I'm ready to break out, and, you know, this is why we was pretty much left the MQCC and all of this. And then Josh Briggs walks back there and was like, yeah, y'all just not applying yourselves. You know what I'm saying? Like, y'all not applying. Y'all not doing the things you need to do to be the men y'all need to be. And he was like, Tavion, what you gonna do? Wait another 4 years for you to win gold? Then he said something about Miles. So pretty much he was kind of giving them a pep talk, but he was like, but just take note, none of y'all ain't doing nothing before me kind of energy, you know? So yeah, he was kind of giving words of encouragement, but also letting them know that, hey, none of that ain't gonna fly with your boy Briggs around type of energy. Then we get segment of Sean Legacy and Axiom, and then it rolls into their Speed Championship match, and it wasn't a bad match. It was back and forth. Of course, these are two high flyers, two energetic, so it's looking like a DBZ fight in there. If you know the old school DBZ where it was just and it's just pinging, literally Axiom hits a top rope Spanish fly when it was like 10 seconds left and was able to secure the pin with like 2 seconds left. So now you remember what I said before for the finals to see who's going to take on Grande Americano. It is now officially Axiom versus Jasper Troy. Oh boy. Oh boy. Then we get a segment with Ethan Page, and he was pretty much telling, you know, Dr. Wagner that, hey, I know your history. I know the type of matches you've been in, so I know this match is right up your alley. But I'm just letting you know, because the way he was standing where you only saw one side of his face, but then he turned and you see that the other side of his face was painted kind of in the whole Dia de la Muertos style. And he was like, I'm just letting you know that, hey, I'm just as dangerous, big dog. You know, I understand you want this Day of the Dead match, but I'm just as dangerous. Aye. We gonna see. We gonna see, you know, type of energy. And I was like, I see you, big dog. Then we get OTM taking on Hank and Tank. Of course, you know Hank and Tank, the Belly Bandits, are former tag team champions. They got their asses whooped by Lucien and Bronco. Like, the way Lucien and Bronco beat OTM, they themselves. The way Lucien and Bronco beat Hank and Tank, you would have forgot Hank and Tank were champs. It was the most squash of squashes. Like, I know at one point Hank and Tank got a little offense in, but they got their asses whooped by OTM. Then even at the end, Bronco hit Tank, I think it was, with the steel steps. Then they both, Lucien and Bronco, slammed Hank through the announce table, but they beat Hank and Tank's ass. Goodness, as Booker T would say. Then we get a little segment where Ren was backstage. I really didn't see or really kind of grasp what she was talking about. I know she was still talking about with Dempsey still being in Japan, and Dempsey basically telling her, "Hey, don't do anything crazy while I'm away." Then it kind of led to, I know Lash was back there sitting down. Then it led to her trying to talk to Lash, and Lash was kind of dismissing her. Then Kendall Gray, who's now the Women Evolve champion, she comes and tries to defend Ren's honor, and Lash was like, "Look, girl, I don't care about you being Evolve Women's champion and this, that, and the third. Like, I will beat your ass. And you know what? Matter of fact, I'll probably beat Ren's ass too, just for the fact that you stepping up for Ren." I mean, she didn't say all of that, but I'm just translating. That she pretty much said she'll beat their asses, especially Kendall. She don't give a damn about no championship. She don't care. She does not care. Then we get that Fatal Influence versus the Cullen. Once again, it was supposed to be Spears and Nico taking on Fatal Influence, but Izzy and Tatum was like, no, we got it. I'm totally joking. If you see the episode, you see Spears and Nico just kind of played in the corner the whole time. I just want to make the joke because we can only say the Cullen. You're usually not thinking about Tatum and Izzy. Just throwing it out there. And once again, Fatal Influence was represented by Laney and JC Jane. Fallon was on the outside. Tatum and Izzy gets the dub. You know, it was a build momentum. It was that build momentum and kind of show that the plucky underdog can do it. Excuse me. Sorry. Now, of course, afterwards, it was them trying to attack. Tatum gets the best and beats up all three. And of course, what she do? Picks up the championship. For those who watch Big City Greens, you don't drink barrel water. And in the world of professional wrestling, if you are challenging for the championship, you don't pick it up and hoist it like it's yours. Because you normally don't win it. Come on, people. Come on. Our last segment of the evening, Trick Willie challenging Richard Saints for the NXT championship. So it was the contract signing. Of course, they had to trade their words. They had to trade the barbs, you know, taking shots, taking digs at each other. Of course, after the contract was signed, it led into a kerfuffle. Led into a whole scuffle. Of course it does, you know. But ultimately, Ricky was on top. He slammed Trick through the table. He was on top. You know, the show ended with Richard Saints, you know, letting him know that pretty much he gonna beat Trick's ass at Halloween Havoc. Now, a little tidbit. If Trick Willie does win that TNA championship, that'll make him the second man to hold that NXT championship 3 times. Ladies and gentlemen, do you know who that other man who held that championship 3 times? I'll give it a couple of seconds. If you said Samoa Joseph, you are correct. He is the only 3-time NXT champion. Now, Finn Balor holds the record of most combined days as champion, but Samoa Joseph has 3 reigns as NXT champion. So if Trick Willie beats Richard come Halloween Havoc, Trick will join Samoa Joseph as 3-time champions. So we shall see. And like I told y'all before, let's go ahead and run down this card of Halloween Havoc. Like I mentioned, JC Jane is taking on Tatum Paxley for the NXT Women's Championship. With it being Halloween Havoc, I'm not surprised they didn't add a stipulation But I kind of wish they would have added a stipulation, especially with it being Halloween Havoc. But don't get me wrong, I can understand why, because we do have 2 gimmick matches per se. So yeah, Ethan Page defending his North American Championship against El Hijo de Dr. Wagner Jr. in a Day of the Dead match. Pretty much anything goes. I'm pretty sure they're going to have some other accoutrements to set the setting with it being a Day of the Dead, but pretty much anything goes. Match that was made, like I told you, your boy is excited. The Young is in charge, and the Young OG, Leon Slater, Javon Evans, is taking on the team of Mr. Iguana with Laesca and La Parka. Oh my God. Give me this match. I cannot wait. I cannot wait. Once again, the inner fanboy in me is ecstatic because Dark State is taking on Broken Matt Hardy and Brother Nero in a Broken Rules match. Oh boy. Oh boy. They didn't have the image up yet, but like I said, it's supposed to be Blake Monroe taking on Zarya for the NXT Women's North American Championship. And then, of course, most likely the main event of the evening for the NXT Men's Championship, Richard Saints taking on Trick Williams. And like I said, I know what I said before about the build towards Halloween Havoc only because they had this monumental show with Showdown and how fast Showdown just came and went. But I'm truly am excited for Halloween Havoc. I know they built it kind of quick. I know it was kind of like boom, 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 it's here. But I am excited about it. I am excited. I am waiting to see what they do, what they put on, and how it all plays out. Yep. Like, for real. But yeah, that was the go-home show leading into Halloween Havoc. And whether you loved it or hate it, don't forget to rate it. Thumbs up, thumbs down. Leave likes, comments, share the video with your peoples. Make sure you tag that subscribe button. Make sure you tag that notification bell so you can be notified for all the videos we post on the channel. Shout outs to the Tag brethren. Shout outs to the Tag Nation. Love yourself. Love one another. Take care of yourself and take care of one another. And until next time, you beautiful people out there, don't forget to tag out. Peace.
Free fall as I dive through the kaleidoscope in my mind. No rope up to climb. Gotta remind myself that I'm fine. Mama.